Here's Robert Blake on Piers Morgan.
Do you remember the night that she died well, or is it now
his ex-wife? Were they married?
Do you
at the
remember
time?
your President Nixon? Yeah, he remembers.
Her name was Bonnie.
He remembers.
Were they married at the time that she was murdered?
I think they were estranged, whatever that means.
Well, weren't they going to a restaurant together, and he went back in to get his keys or something weird, and all of a sudden there was a hit?
Yeah. She's outside.
What the fuck? How did he get away with this?
He's like, yeah, I forgot my shit inside.
Right.
He goes in.
Conveniently.
And conveniently, when he's inside,
she's murdered.
She gets fucking murdered outside.
Wow. When you said, do you remember President Nixon?
Yes.
Why don't you go to the map and have one of the callers, take the red tack out and see if they know what song that's from for a prize.
See?
Do you know what song that's from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to your map.
Old Jizz Belly sang it.
No.
Old Jizz Gut.
No, that was Bowie.
Yeah.
What?
He was Jizz Gut, too.
He was Jizz Gut, too?
Yeah.
Bowie
Bowie
wasn't making out with Mick Jagger.
Swallowed so much of Jagger's jizz, and then Jagger swallowed so much of his jizz. They were just pumping stomachs. It's crazy.
They're all just sleeping with each other.
You're choking on that?
Are you choking on jizz?
He's choking like some guy that knows what that tastes like.
Yeah, why such a reaction?
Oh,
it's
man.
disgusting. Thinking
Flashback. Too
Flashback.
close to home, huh? No, what's the song? I really don't know.
Changes.
Is it? Yeah. Right?
Wait, what's the lyric?
Young Americans.
Oh, yeah.
What's the lyric again, Ed?
That was the one where he goes, you do remember your President Nixon.
Oh, right.
The bills you had to pay, or even yesterday. Yeah, that one.
I like some Bowie.
I saw fucking Bowie in concert.
Was he
great.
good?
Oh, fucking great.
Yeah,
that's a surprise.
He did Ziggy Stardust. That's when he came out with Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah.
That was a good album.
What year was that? Were you a crackhead?
No, I was coke.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That was before crack. I didn't go to concerts when I did crack. Who has time for concerts?
Well, it's time for anything but crack.
Did I ever tell the story when me and my buddy Buzzy were fucked up on cocaine and we went to a James Taylor show?
Oh,
and we were in
wow.
the front row.
Good choice of fucking
That's
artist.
why it's funny. We were making a complete asses of ourselves because we were wired, and everyone's just chilling because he's just singing his tiny little mellow
Singing
songs.
his little mellow
but
songs,
to us,
you're
we were at
wired.
like a Metallica show. Did I ever tell this story?
No.
And we got kicked out.
You got kicked out of a concert?
Yeah, because we were completely over the top.
I've seen.
But I
Grinding your
remember,
teeth.
I remember the day. To us, we thought we were acting appropriately,
Well, don't you look
and he's
down.
just like,
Oh, my
Jesus.
God.
doing Fire and Rain, and we're thinking it's Enter Sandman in our heads.
You gotta help me take a stand.
I seen fire and I seen... Yeah, motherfucker! Sing it, you fuck!
That's pretty much what was happening.
Days that I thought would never... Whoa! Motherfucker!
Did I ever tell this story on the air? We were like an hour late, and we thought that was normal, and then we
Sing it, you motherfucker!
we took our seats. We were singing a little too loud. We were doing the sing-alongs when no one else was singing along.
Oh, man. Embarrassing.
And I believe it got to a point where James Taylor completely noticed us. And we got kicked out.
You gotta help me make a stand.
Woo! Yeah, motherfucker! Love this fuck!
We were so zooted. We were fucked
I know,
up.
we went to see-
And really...
Coke will fucking do shit to you.
We went to see the New York Dolls. We were tripping our brains out. It was Halloween night at the Waldorf Astoria, and everybody's fucking it's all gay. The New York Dolls had a big gay following.
Certainly did.
Hence why you were
best,
there.
The best costumes, and we're all fucking fucked
how
up
we
on
did.
blotter acid.
Yeah.
And I told on blotter acid, and we're sitting on a table, and the lead singer had a gun that shot light with a snare drum.
Yeah.
It was like a machine gun shooting light, and we're
Oh,
tripping.
I'll freak you out.
And we're fucking freaking out. Then we go outside to look for our car. His mother's. We go to a cop. We go, "Where's our car?" And he goes, "Oh, it was probably impounded." But we thought he meant compounded into a little square because we were tripping. We go, "Oh,
Big
your mother's
Joe's
car."
fucking car in tow.
We
And
go, "Your mother's car is a paperweight."
no one that'll be missed.
That's great.
Fucking little cube. You were fucked up.
We were so funny, and we're walking around all depressed, and we see the car, and then it was like fireworks and Jesus and everything.
Compacted, impounded, compounded, compacted. You are fucked up, Rich Voss.
James Taylor and Coke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds fun.
I was the good old days.
Those were great concerts back then.
Yep.
Were they?
We really thought we were seeing
Fuck.
some fucking loud, over-the-top thing. Anyway, here's Robert Blake.
Yeah, let's hear Robert
on
Blake.
the murder of his, I think it was his wife at the time, Bonnie.
Or is it now something you've blocked out of your head?
No, I remember it quite well.
You went and had dinner at this restaurant.
Where are you going?
Oh.
I'm interested in what happened.
No, you're not interested in the guy. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Let me help you. Let me take this out of my ear. There's no one talking to me. Okay? You haven't got to worry. There is nobody talking to me. These are my questions for you, which are based, in my view, perfectly
Now
legitimately
you want to know what
on your
happened
story.
that night?
I'm curious, yeah.
No, you're not.
I am, because you were acquitted
I
in
thought you said you researched all this, so you know what happened that night.
I know the facts of the night. I'm
What?
curious about...
Tell me about the facts of the night.
You take your wife for dinner to a restaurant.
Go ahead.
Your wife goes to the car. You go back to retrieve, as you say, your gun, which is in the restaurant. And when you return, your wife has been shot dead. When they test the gun that you go and retrieve, that is not the same gun that killed her. Am I right so far?
So far.
Right, so I'm
Roughly,
factually
yes.
correct. I have no agenda here, at all. You clearly think I do, but I don't.
It sounds boring as hell, but go ahead.
I don't think it's boring. Your wife got murdered.
No, but your questions are boring. I mean, even what you just said. Are you sure the people in Tibet give about any of this?
What? What was that part?
In bed.
Oh, people that are
Watching,
in bed, like
yeah.
they're watching in bed.
Oh.
He doesn't understand. It is pretty compelling to hear a guy that you think might have murdered, or at least had his wife murdered, kind of a thing.
Well-
Talk about the murder. It is compelling.
But in all fairness to Robert Blake, hasn't this been talked about a million times? Why is it being brought up now?
But why is he doing it?
Hasn't he-
Yeah, why is he out right
wrote a
now?
book.
What's he doing?
He wrote a book.
He wrote a book.
About
So
his
he's
life.
rarely out, so it would be in line to ask him about this?
Well, yeah, it's in the book.
Come on, it's in the book.
Oh, and it's in the book. Okay.
It's his life. What,
All
do
right.
you want to ask him about when he was little Mickey on the Little Rascals?
Right. 79 years old, by the way, and it looks like he could still beat the shit out of a lot of people.
79?
That's what I just looked up. 79 for Robert Blake. 1933, right? 67 plus 12. That's 79 in my mind.
1933? Yeah, he was one of the
79.
later on during the shitty Little Rascals. He was in that one,
Right.
where Spanky was all fat, fat Spanky, and fucking Darla started getting giant tits on her.
Buckwheat was allowed to sit on the front of the bus.
Well, not really, not quite.
no.
Hal Roach put fucking knew how to put them in their place. That guy was a fucking racist prick.
Who was
Hal Roach, yeah, the fucking guy that
You don't
put all
remember-
that shit together.
You don't remember the sweat on the wall?
When Stymie fucking was sweating, working on over the stove, and he went to take the sweat, he wiped his forehead and flung his hand to fling the sweat off, and it was brown all along
Brown
the fucking
spots on the
yeah,
wall?
black fucking
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
where his sweat would have been black because he was a black guy.
Yeah.
How he had fucking Spanky and Stymie and shit running past fire.
Yep.
That was flying out, and it was no CGI back then. They lit fires.
There was real fire.
and had children
They would
run
shoot
through
at
it.
Do you remember
great.
when the 1910 Fruit Gum Company played in the radio station, and the guy's hair popped out?
That wasn't the 1910 Fruit Gum Company.
Who were
It was
they?
the International Silver String Submarine Band.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And they played the Man on the Flying
And
Trapeze.
then the guy's head.
Yeah, and the engineer, his hair would pop out. That was me back in
you look-
the 80s. Exactly.
Actually, you look really good. Have you not drinking for a day?
Thank you. For a day. Actually, well, nah, technically, no.
You got a good glow.
I'm tan. I honestly have not been partaking in as much booze as I have been. Not funny. You motherfucker. That's funny. Not for any reason, but I don't feel like I'm as. For some reason, I'm just not as into getting hammered as much as I
She can't get
was.
into bars.
No, no.
Oh, jeez.
Were you kidding?
You're all tip today, aren't you? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's Robert Blake right there. We're watching a
Which
little
one?
clip from Our Gang. The kid in the middle, the little kid in the middle, the shortest one. Oh, God, Alfalfa. Alfalfa wound up getting... Yeah, that's kid on the left is Robert Blake.
That's Robert Blake.
Yeah. Oh, Froggy. Yeah, he's on the right. That's Robert Blake.
He's not in...
These are the later ones that really sucked. Look at Alfalfa.
Yeah, he looks a little too old for his bow tie.
Yeah. And they were always making him sing. I'm a crooner. These were terrible. Look at Fat Spanky. Oh, buckwheat.
You know they kept him fat, too, right?
Oh, yeah. Spanky was hilarious in the early ones when he was a kid with a monkey. Fucking wreaking havoc in the orphanage.
All right, let's get back to
these are
Robert Blake.
Terrible.
Because we're going to run out of show, and then we're not going to get to the Bonnie blowjob thing from the podcast.
Shit.
This Robert Blake shit is really good.
I think you're here because you've written a book about your life.
Yeah.
And I would argue...
There's a lot more to my life
I'm sure
than
there is.
that night.
But there's probably...
Beretta.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're part of a whole murder thing, I'm sorry, but
People kind of want to hear about that.
Nobody
you can
cares
be as
about
frustrated as you want, but that's got to come up every time.
All of a sudden-
Nobody gives a fuck about the parrot.
No,
And no
as
one really...
much.
No one really wants to talk to OJ about his Heisman.
Exactly.
You know? It's pretty much...
Sucks to be you, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know, this is the highlight of your life.
I'm sure
Than
there is.
that night.
But there's probably nothing more significant in your life than... Really? Than the murder of your wife?
I didn't murder my wife. It may be
the
significant to
murder.
you.
I didn't say you did.
But it isn't
I said,
to me.
I
You said there's nothing more significant.
than the murder of your wife.
Personally, it's not the most significant thing in my life.
What is
the
the-
most significant thing in my life is when I was 2 years old and I found an audience. The next most significant thing is when I went to MGM as an extra, and 3 years later I starred in my first film. You know,
I don't know.
America just was going to war. It was the worst time in the world for America, but there's nothing more significant than a little boy with no parents, no friends, nothing, walking into MGM and 3 years later starring in his first film. You know how significant that is? No, because you've never lived my life.
Oh, God.
I think the murder thing really kind of puts all that other stuff
It's still
kind
above
of in the
all
back
that
seat.
stuff. Yes.
Kind of in the back seat, a little bit.
Oh, wow. Piers asked Robert Blake if he's sane. Oh, no, this ain't gonna
Piers.
play out well.
Oh, you Piers.
Do you think you're sane?
I'm what?
Do you think you're sane? Do you think you have your full sanity? Or has what's happened to you sent you slightly mad? What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you. I think I was born. The truth is, I think I'm sort of a mutation or a subspecies. I think if I was born 10,000 years ago, I would have taken 2 or 3 people, gone off and started another tribe.
How much do you blame
I
your parents?
I don't blame anybody. That book is about God.
What?
God kept me alive in a womb when my mother tried to abort me with coat hangers twice.
Jesus.
God kept me alive for the first 2 years of my life when nobody gave a whether I lived or died. God showed me where that sidewalk was and I started dancing. When I got out here, I was 5 years old. I stood in front of MGM and I said, I can do this. And I walked in there. 3 years later, I starred in my first film.
Wait, he's just a 5-year-old going out to
He's
Hollywood?
5. He's fucking walking around the streets.
Wait, he
Hey,
said,
motherfucker.
but wait, he said 8, now 8. He was in his first film. I thought it was 3.
I don't know. Was he in an orphanage out there in Hollywood?
I would assume.
And they just let him out as a 5-year-old? And he went to MGM?
The
I'm confused.
foundlings took me in. The foundlings.
With a coat hanger stuck out of his leg.
Old coat hanger head.
How does he know his mom?
He's bobbing and weaving in that womb. Oh, man. Whoa! Almost got me.
I don't remember when I was 4, more or less when I was in a womb.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, coat hanger.
And she tried to abort me twice. All right, who pulled her out on the heat? Beretta.
I think I'm a mutation. That's wonderful.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time with. Don't do it. Remember that shit?
Sort of. I sort of know it, yeah. Robert thinks Piers is calling him a liar.
Yeah.
You want to get to the truth if you can. Does that mean I'm lying to you?
I don't know. Are you?
Commercial.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think we're going to get to some questions where...
Well, tell me where I'm lying. Because if you don't know I'm telling you the truth, then you must have a little scratch in the back of your head about where I'm lying.
Now tell me.
Tell me where I'm lying.
I'm not saying you're lying.
But you're saying you don't know if I'm telling the truth. What the hell is the difference?
I'm saying I've met you for, what, 20 minutes?
I don't care about that. You put me on the stand, I'm telling the
I don't
truth,
put
and
you
you
on the
say
stand.
you're scratching the head.
Why are you being so defensive?
Because you just insulted me.
I didn't insult you.
Yes, you did. Nobody tells me I'm a liar.
I didn't call you a liar.
You said I might not be telling the truth. What the hell is the difference?
I said I'm going to
Now,
ask
I don't
you...
want to take this any place special. All I want... Okay, let me say it this way. My skin is a little bit thin,
Sure.
which is why I stay away from people mostly. I've never allowed anybody to ask me the questions that you're asking. I allowed you to do that because I trust you. And I would have assumed that you and that guy in your ear would trust me.
Now he's paranoid.
And if you don't, then we better start talking about the little rascals.
That's funny. This is great for Piers and for fucking Robert Blake. He'll sell some books based on this because you want to read about a fucking mental patient like this.
Well, Roland came to me this morning and said, do you want Robert Blake?
Yes.
You think that could happen?
If he made that happen, that'd be huge.
That'd be awesome.
I'll talk to Little Rascals with him.
Yeah,
and
we'll
I'll
talk
ask
to
him if
Little
he's
Rascals.
lying to me.
What do you think this is all about? That he got away with murder and he just doesn't want to
He's always been
deal with it?
a nutty fucking guy.
True.
Even during Beretta, you listen to interviews with people that worked with him and say he was fucking crazy.
Wasn't this like his second or third wife, too?
Yeah,
Was it?
It was sort of like a fan or something, I remember. I don't know, that he ended up marrying. We haven't thought about this in years, but what happened that day? They ever arrest anyone for that murder?
No.
OJ.
You think it was a hit?
OJ. It had to be. Come on. The guy fucking walks inside to get his gun.
And I heard he was miserable or something. There was something going on between those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it was a hit, why would he do it when he was anywhere near her? You know, he's not... I
To
mean,
throw him off the scent.
It's fucking
Not
perfect.
everyone gets that perfect alibi where they go to fucking California while their condo's burning down.
He knows that they're going to be at a certain place at a certain time because he's with her. He knows he's just got to take her out,
Right.
leave his gun inside,
Right.
say, oh, I got to get my gun.
And everyone sees him go back in the restaurant
Perfect.
to get the gun, so he
Yeah.
can't. He definitely didn't shoot her because his gun is inside.
okay, if you're going to be involved in something like this, why even carry a gun? Why wouldn't it be something, you know what I mean? Why even bring a gun into the pit? Oh, I left my gun inside.
'Cause he
He
always
probably always
carries.
has his gun. Why would he do something different?
Yeah, you don't do anything
You do the
different.
same shit you would do on any other day. He
That's the
probably carries
mistake
his
you
And
made
who
gun
by
around.
flying to California.
Listen, who takes their gun out, too, in a restaurant when they're eating? and
That's
leaves
true.
it-
Like,
and
why would
leaves
you
it?
do that?
Why would
Unless
you
he's
leave
on the
gun-
shitter. You know, if you go into the shitter, you got to pop your gun out and pop it up on a fucking, toilet paper holder or something like
Okay,
that.
so here's the deal.
So
Or maybe
it's
out of
in-
It wouldn't
respect,
have
it's the
been
type of
left
restaurant where you
Yeah.
kind of check your guns. You know what I mean? Maybe it's
Well,
one of
was
those
he
type
at
of joints.
Popeyes?
the Old West.
I don't know. But maybe that's something you do. I don't know.
The way he told it in a clip that I didn't pull for you guys,
Yeah.
is that his wife was a con artist, and there was a lot of people wanted her dead or wanted something bad to happen, but nobody could ever find her, and he goes, well, and then she marries Robert Blake. Well, where does Robert Blake live? And they just did it that way.
You rock taking a big shit?
No, Eric's taking care of
Oh,
something.
okay. Sorry.
But with that said, she ended up conning Robert Blake
Yeah.
into her life.
Yes.
And then
yes,
Robert Blake
right.
goes, holy fuck, I've been conned. How the hell am I
yeah.
getting out of this
I've been
thing?
conned.
I'm not saying he didn't
Yeah.
have anything to do with it. I'm saying that
No, I know,
that was
but-
his explanation in a clip that I didn't pull because it was like whatever.
Liar,
Not-
liar,
not
pants
crazy.
on fire, Robert Blake. That's what I say.
Being called out for saying check your gun. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe there's a place like that.
no, there's no check your gun, but there are places that don't allow guns.
Right.
And,
So, all right, if they don't allow a gun and you have a gun, then what happens?
you got to find somewhere to put your gun.
Or
when
can
go
you check
into
your
that
gun?
establishment. I don't think you could
With
check
your
your gun.
coat.
I think there's a liability problem. You can check your guns at like courthouses and things
Right.
like that and precincts, but I don't think a private establishment's going to hook up a place where you can check your gun. The liability issues are astounding at that point.
I'm officially a dummy.
No, it's just there's certain things people know about, and
I'm officially a
certain things,
dummy.
But why would
So
it
then
sound-
why did... All right, so where was the gun then? He left it at
he
his...
might have left it either at the table, which is ridiculous.
But
was it at the table?
Well, that's what it sounds like he's saying, because they were leaving.
But that's
and then he
crazy.
said, "Oh, I gotta go get my gun." So
That's why
you would
it's
assume that he
suspicious.
left
And
it.
Ant's a responsible gun owner, okay? You're not leaving your gun
No,
anywhere.
never.
How would you leave your
always
gun in a
conscious
restaurant?
of where the fuck it is at all times.
So where was the gun in the restaurant? That had to come
Might
out
have
in
been in the
court
shitter.
case.
If it was in the
And then what are the odds that nobody else went in there in the shitter after him?
might have been.
Everything?
I think it was late. I don't know. Believe me, I think the guy was involved.
Okay,
believe me.
She was in the car too when she got shot, right? Wasn't
I think
she?
so, yeah.
No,
So-
whether he was involved or not, the fact remains he definitely left his gun in the restaurant.
Yeah, he did.
And that's all I'm talking about right now. Hence my stupid check the gun theory, because it sounds ridiculous, because I know Ant's a responsible gun owner, and this shit just doesn't happen. You don't fucking take your gun out in a restaurant.
How about it fell out onto the floor? He realized it was gone, went in to get it.
But what did they say in the court case? It
I know.
had to come out.
It had to.
Like,
It
did
had
he
to
leave
come
it in
out.
the shitter? Did he leave it in like some kind of a booth in
Where
the restaurant?
was his gun when he went in to get it? That's the question we need to know right now. Do some research, fucking Pal Talk people. Don't just stare at me.
Help us out. Tweet me. I don't give a fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Anything.
You lazy fuckers. Oh, God.
I go to that restaurant a lot. They wouldn't care about walking in with a gun. Okay, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Some places do, some places don't.
Obviously we're moving past the check the gun theory, which was stupid on my part. I get it, but
Well, there are.
But I
there
want
are
to know the
places,
real
though.
answer.
Yeah. There are places, though. New York's a kind of weird. There's almost a good part of New York being so much of a pain in the ass to carry a concealed weapon, because a lot of these open states that are very lenient.
Is California open state? I don't even know.
No, not really. California's kind of a pain in the ass. But like,
Okay.
let's say Texas. Very easy to get a gun in Texas, Arizona, stuff like that. A lot of these establishments put up signs that say no guns on premises.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to go in there with your gun because everyone has a gun. In New York, you never see those signs because most of the people don't have guns, and they don't have to put those signs up because, for the most part, no one's going to have a gun when they walk in these places unless they're, bad
Right.
guys.
Gotcha.
So it almost works out better that you could go into more places with your gun in a tougher state to get a gun in.
See, now someone, Kyle in Indiana, says he checked his gun with his coat, and I really want to go to his phone call, but I think it's
gonna
more
think it's gonna be
abuse
a
for
joke?
me. Yes.
I think it's going to be a
Of
joke.
course.
All right, let's hear.
Kyle. He hung up. All right. Do we know?
Apparently, he left it in the booth, like that they were sitting in.
He left it in the okay, a booth. Now that's different. I pictured some chairs around a table, but if it's a booth, it could have he maybe didn't want to sit down because sometimes a holster's uncomfortable.
Right.
So he might have taken it out and put it next to him.
Well,
Here's where
he's sitting
it's
down-
weird.
All right.
After they left, Blake returned to the restaurant to retrieve his handgun, which he had left in the restaurant booth. He asked for water, and after drinking 2 glasses, he left again.
That ought to be long. After hearing bang bang,
Yeah.
he went outside.
After drinking 2 glasses of water right before he's on his way home.
2 glasses of water.
Well, see, here's the deal. All right, if there's a hit set up,
He's got a stall in the restaurant.
he's got to leave the fucking scene
Right.
because he doesn't want to, by accident see shit and then have to go through a lie detector test or
Right.
whatever the fuck. So he's got to get himself back in the restaurant. How do you do that in California? Because you're not going to forget a code or something because it's warm.
And he can't forget
What
the
could you-
car keys because he had to let her in.
Right. So it's got to be something on your person. Could be a wallet.
Maybe he went with the credit card thing, but at the last second they're like, "Oh, here's your credit card, Mr. Blake." And he's
God
like,
damn it!
"Fuck.
Now I got to ditch my gun.
Now I got to get up off this seat and leave my gun behind. 'Cause he's got to get back in the restaurant so they could do what they're doing, and then he comes back out, and he's got the perfect alibi. Everyone saw that he went back into the restaurant.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And restaurant water, you're not going to just have 1 cup because it's so good.
Oh, you got to have
You
2.
got to have 2.
Why would you sit there and have 2 glasses of water?
Because you know that you don't want to walk out while she's being shot.
That's why. Thank you. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Come on.
Have you
just
ever
poor
left
planning.
Have you ever left your girl in the car to have 2 glasses of water?
2 glasses of water.
Why not just go to the bathroom?
Right.
Yeah.
You might slam one. You might slam one. You're like, you know what? I need a glass of water, but I could do this in a couple seconds. But you get another one.
He got dry mouth from nerves because his wife is being shot outside.
But he's hoping
no
one is suspicious that he's sitting there drinking his water.
Yeah.
Take some time to open his Crystal Light, pour it in.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say we think he killed his wife?
We could say what we think.
You can have an opinion.
That's just our opinion.
That's my opinion.
My opinion is he knew something.
Yeah.
He knew,
Yeah.
he didn't do it. I'll absolutely say he didn't do it physically, but I believe he knew the person that did it and was probably behind the reason.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I could say that. Fuck it.
All right. Well, here's the last clip from Piers Morgan. Robert Blake.
When I did all that Facebook stuff, and then I went in the closet and I found 2 boxes of pictures that I didn't know exist. They were full of rat, and I pulled all these pictures out and I said, that's all me. And I said, what do I do with this? Somebody said, write a book. And I couldn't write a book because I'm not going to write 6 books. I'm only going to write 1 book. How do I put 75 years in 1 book? Well, you do it the way you just saw. There's 4 or 5 little chapters about the rascals. There's chapters about those rotten bastard cops that ripped my guts out and left me beside the road to die. I'll get to you son of a bitches later, but don't think you're going to get off the hook.
Oh, shit.
I was supposed to die in that cell, wasn't I, you bastards? Well, I didn't die. And you didn't get your book deal, mothers. I wrote a book about you. So you'll have to go out and rip some other celebrity till he's dead. Then you can write a book about him. I'm sorry, I'm back. That's how, so the book became all of my life.
The whole time he's saying that, by the way, he's looking at the camera and pointing.
Right.
Like he's talking to the cops.
Wait,
Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.